Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. I got my girls with me, Nika and Esme. Hello, ladies. How are
Hello.
y'all?
We're good.
Hey, hey.
Say
Yeah, we've all been working hard this week, so
yes.
we're
Oh
a
my god.
little, you know, this is a good downtime. No stress, fun. Hopefully, and yeah. I mean, I look forward to these Wednesdays, so it's
Is
it's
that
it's good.
me?
Me
Yeah.
too. So I'm super excited though. I'll tell you. So we started out with a sponsor a few months ago, Manscaped. And then, well, were they? Yeah, I guess you could say they were our sponsor. We,
Yeah.
we, we got
Well.
some stuff. We got some
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff.
We got a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some stuff, and then we had another one, Teresa Arte de Tere, with her beautiful artwork and the things that she's doing for us. So we got to give her a shout out too. But most recently, we got HCP. They have a show every Monday. Hispanics causing panic. Hey,
This is their logo. I couldn't.
this
The
is
way
their
they sent it.
logo.
Yeah. The way they sent it, I could not. It was like a ping thing, so it's like I guess this is what they use of the logo on like
Yeah,
a
these
blank
styles. What
screen.
what is you doing? What is you doing? That's not gonna fit. But that's
So
okay. There you are. They're our sponsor. Be sure and check them out on YouTube every Monday. D Style and Calix for Hispanics causing panic. They are back.
oh, he needs
They
to
are
send us
so back.
the new logo that he has with him and
Oh, I love. Okay, he sent me
yeah,
that
the
too. I think
cartoon.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
big too. That one's really nice.
It's
But he's
dope,
like, if
yeah.
you'll show this one tonight. So shout out to our sponsors. We're super excited. We're starting to get legit with sponsors. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're super excited. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining. So we got some stuff going on in the news. It just said, BLK Prime announced that Hank Lundy is going to be fighting Adrian Broner instead of Red Catch. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Um, well, it looks like it's kind of a mess because it looks like Ivan was, he was venting on Twitter, so it looks like it was something
Hmm.
with his manager or something. I don't know if he parted ways with him and he still owed him money, but it looks like his manager went back to BLK after everything was agreed upon and asked for more money. So they were just like, you know what, we don't need you type deal, and we'll just get somebody else to fight. And they got Lundy. So I mean, I still feel like I don't know. I think this might be a better fight. To be honest, it might be a better scrap. But I still feel bad for Red Cash because that's a paycheck that
Yeah.
he's missing out on. Like, and also because his manager was being messy. Now his manager gets. He was trying to get 50%, I think, but now he gets 50% of nothing. Like
Yeah,
you don't get nothing now.
nothing.
So
All
so
for
yeah.
nothing. Well, the thing. So if y'all remember, Alex Martin, um, fought Lundy. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
When I had actually worked Alex's, this is why I remember so well, because I worked his corner and we fought Lundy, and Alex was going through some things, and he wasn't on the top of his game, and he beat Lundy. I mean, Lundy's tough. He's gonna come at you. He's freaking tough. But Alex, got the win, and he won convincingly. And even though AB has been out of the game, and he's been overweight, and hopefully he's getting it together, I still think that AB is going to beat him. I really do. Like, I'm predicting it right now. If I'm wrong, I will say that I'm wrong. But AB has a lot more skills than Lundy does, in my opinion. And if Lundy's going to be lunging at him, then he can just catch him with something, you know but I don't know. But then again, but the bigger question is, who's gonna pay for this? Like, it's still gonna be pay-per-view? Like, I don't
I think
know.
it's still pay per view. Yeah, it's still pay per view because
Yeah,
this
that's
is just
crazy.
it's kind of a mess. Yeah.
It is a mess. Yes, happy birthday to the GOAT. Yes, Ali, as most people call him, the GOAT. He's up there,
Oh,
and
if Lundy and Broner do like a press conference or something, they both are good shit talkers, so they can sell this
Yeah.
fight. You know, they
Yes.
can definitely sell this fight. So
Yes. Yeah. No,
we
you're
we have
right.
we have seen worse. So you know,
You're right. We have. You know what? And that might be that's going to be the selling point. Is the shit talking, because they
yeah.
both talk big. But I guess my question is to y'all, raise your hand if you're buying it.
Oh no.
Raise your hand if you're buying it. Yeah, well, I'm probably going to be busy that night. I don't know. But I won't be the one buying it. I wouldn't mind seeing it, just because it's boxing and I'm a boxing fan, but I don't know if I'm willing to cough up the cash for that, you
I
know.
be talking shit, but then I'll be bored, and then I be wanting to watch the fight.
that, that happened to me.
I be
That
on
happened to me
Twitter
with
and I
Tank.
be seeing
With
everybody
Tank
talking shit
fight.
about yeah. Then so I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably purchase it. So
I'm
I'm
like,
not
I'm
even.
not buying it. I'm not buying it. And then I buy it just his fight. And I'm like, okay, well, I missed these whole other, fights. But
There was
yeah.
so many fight announcements today. What is it? Caleb Plant and Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I've been working
Is
all
it
day. I
set
didn't
in
even know
stone
that.
or is it like
That's a good question. Does anybody know? Is it set in stone? And is
I,
it
s-
really, really going to happen? You
I saw
know?
the date, like the flyer that I saw had a date and everything on it. And then Inoue and Fulton, I saw
Yeah. So is that legit? Because
that's
that
supposed
right
to
there
be
is
yeah,
going to be a fire show.
and that's gonna be in Japan, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
That
Um,
that that is going to be, that's a matchup right there that I want to see.
and Triple G said he's not interested in fighting Jaime Munguia.
Oh,
oh, he made
really?
that statement today.
Yeah,
Why?
he's like, I think
Why?
because he's in the top 3 of fighters that Jaime wants to fight this year, and he's like the opposite. He's like, I'm not interested.
Wow. That's crazy. That's kind of a slap in the face because, G's on his way
Mhm.
out and Jaime is
Yeah,
trying to, renew his name and try to prove that, he is who everybody thinks he is. That's something that he doesn't want to, that he doesn't want to fight. Boxing,
Did you mean to spell it that way? Um boxing pound for pound Jack. Did you meant to put Fuckton?
fuck.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was. Okay, no, then he corrected Fulton. Yeah,
Oh,
because I
okay,
was
all
like, okay,
right.
I was like gonna start to read it, and then I'm like, Fulton. Okay, so you don't like Fulton. Um, yeah.
So then, G Funky says Brandon Figueroa versus
Uh,
Mike Sayo, March 4th.
Mm.
that's gonna
So,
be a good one too. Yeah,
so s-
there's a lot of good fights coming up.
well, it's the beginning of the year, so they got to
Mhm.
start rolling out
Wasn't
dates and stuff. So, yeah,
wasn't Javante and Garcia also
yeah,
solidified?
supposedly, yeah, I saw that the contract was sent back to Oscar, and they took a little picture like, hey, we got the contract. We just gotta make a
But
few
then
changes.
somebody said, I think it was you, G Funky. Was it you or somebody was saying that wasn't even a contract? That was something else. Who said that? Somebody I saw like for a split on Twitter. I've been freaking working all day, so I
It's
didn't
for
get to really
modeling contract.
Because
write.
they said the fight was supposed to schedule for April 15th. You know, and April is a beautiful month. It's the month of my
That's
birthday.
around the corner.
Absolutely, it is. Well, the thing is too is like so. I had also read somewhere that they went in that somebody was doing some research on Tank's charges and everything that he's been charged with, and that the judge is really wanting to go forward, and he may have to serve some time. And has anybody
Mm-hmm.
heard anything about that? Like it's supposed to be their like
Mm-mm.
Well, I
common
thought the
knowledge.
yeah, because I thought the court case was for next month in February, so I
Yeah.
guess we'll find out then.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
so. Yeah, G
Chris,
Funky, this is good. This is good. Slight tendencies,
Oh yeah,
what's
but
up?
oh yeah,
Berlanga's a free agent now.
and I think that was a big mistake on his part.
So I didn't get the whole story. So did he ask to be released from his contract, or they say, you know what, you're not producing anymore, you got to go?
It looks like it was mutual, so maybe he asked for it, and they were just like, you know what, go right
Well,
ahead.
I will say this: usually, when it's mutual, that means that your promoter is going to say, "Look, we're either going to just do it not very nicely, or we can just agree to say it's time, and then we'll say publicly that it's mutual." That's usually what it is. And honestly, he hasn't been showing up. You know.
So I don't know what he thinks he's gonna do because I feel like Top Rank was like promoting him the best that they could, and they pushed him out there and made him a name. Um, Now,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, go right. I'm curious to see what you're gonna do now because
I'm
It's like
curious because
I wasn't sold on him. So
no, and somebody said who do they think is gonna pick him up? Like, will it be Golden Boy? Will it be
mm-mm.
the zone?
The
Will
zone.
it? I don't think so.
the zone. You think the
Me.
zone? That's me.
I don't think
I
so.
think
I
so.
mean, are they gonna put the money in there unless they're looking for to put some money in there for their fighters? And put a name there. I don't
Is it
know. That
match
would
or
be a good fight.
separate?
Berlanga versus So Cold. Yeah, Steven Nelson.
What'd you say,
Matchroom is
Esme?
separate than the zone.
Would you say? I'm sorry.
It is,
Matchroom.
but they have like a partnership, I
Oh,
believe.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The zone
Your
is the
boys,
network. Dazn is
Christine.
Dazn, DAZN, whatever you want to, yeah,
Your
say
boy
is.
fight Christine.
Who's that?
Jake Paul and Tommy Fury in February.
Oh my goodness.
Gracious. Yeah, I got that ESPN alert. I was like ESPN. I wanted to say ESPN. Those are not the kind of alerts I want.
You're
Okay.
like, really, ESPN? You're
I do
alerting
not
me
want
for
that
this?
alert.
You ruined my nap or my freaking coffee break to tell me this? Yeah, I don't know.
No, see, and Krista says I don't believe Papa Bob ever a Berlanga team. Wait, hold on, Nick. Um, Ever a Berlanga team convinced? I say Berlanga go to be okay. Yeah, you know what?
Crystal,
And
okay.
Steven Nelson has fought on BLK. So look, I'm sorry, but I just feel like he's gonna go downhill from here because Top
This
Rank had some really babysitting gloves on him, and they were starting to like let go of the babysitting gloves, and that's when they started to be more exposed now. And
Mm-hmm.
now you think you should part ways? Okay.
and I like him on like I've remember from the amateurs, and he was a cocky kid, and he wasn't very approachable, but then as he got older, and he was nice.
He's
His
still
wife is
cocky.
nice, but I've seen him like in a setting where where everybody's having dinner and we're just relaxed, and like there's other people around. He's a really nice guy.
More
and
humble.
and but I think the problem was he did have a lot of power. He has superpower, strength in his punches, but that doesn't always resonate to a champion, because you have to have more than that. You have to have some boxing skill. you know you can't just have power.
Ro-
I mean,
Dropped.
even some of our people heavyweight, I'm not going to mention any name, that had nothing but power and couldn't box, met his match. And I think that happens.
I also think Top Rank right now has that kid, one of my favorites, Cash Floyd Diaz. What's his
Uh-huh.
name?
Yeah.
And they're really investing in him since the moment he joined with them. They've been literally pushing him and pushing him. And did he fall in one of his fights, or he had a really tough fight recently? But he's
Is
still
he? Yeah,
good.
he's a lighter weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is he? Because I know he's not a welterweight. Um, he's lighter, isn't he? Is he lightweight?
I forgot.
See,
But I know who you're
boxing
talking about.
pound for pound. Jack says Berlanga's finding out power can only get you so far. Yep.
It's true. And
Uh,
it's very true.
we're
You
gonna
know.
see. We're gonna see it even more.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have ring generalship, ring IQ. You have to be able to box. You can't just think that you're going to knock everybody out that's in front of you. And I think that really hurt him in the beginning. Even though he could knock these guys out, I think he probably shouldn't have. He should have like made it go into later rounds, or at least given us a few rounds before he was knocking everybody out, because then that's what we expect. Then he gets in there with somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's you know at the level, and then he can't do the same thing. And It's not.
See,
I don't know.
that's my fear with, and that's why it took me so long to even consider being a fan of his. Is with Xander Zayas,
I know you were gonna say
because
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
why am I so predictable? But no, because he is. All he gave us was knockouts. And I was like, hell yeah! And then you get used to it, and then when they don't do it, you're like,
yeah.
pass.
Yeah, I think that that's a mistake that a lot of I don't know if I want to put it on the matchmaker or the promoter or even the manager. Like, yeah, whenever you have your guy first starting out, you're not going to feed him to the wolves. You're going to give him some fish bait, you know. Um, but I think that if you start out just knocking everybody out, it's not good for you in the long run. I think that you need the rounds, you need the experience. You need to test yourself and work on things that you think that you need to work on, and your corner thinks you need to work on. I just think it's a big mistake when they go in there trying to knock everybody out. I mean,
See,
it
that's the
doesn't
thing. And I
last.
saw it so much in Tijuana is the fighters take those first fights as like as lessons, as like play with it, like practice everything you've studied in the ring. Don't
Yeah,
just go in for a knockout because you know it's an easy win. Like go in, play around.
right.
Do like that's what those fights are for, not just for the fast ass knockout, because then you get with the pros that know what they're doing, and that's where the struggle comes in.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I
you get in
see
front
this.
of. We've seen it happen all the time.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say Top Rank has the best matchmaking in boxing, in my opinion. And
But
they
you
were
know what?
matching him up to win. So
They
now, like,
they
what you
do.
gonna?
They
What's
do.
gonna
They
happen
do
now?
have great matchmaking. They do. The problem wasn't them. The problem was the corner. You know, instead of them saying, "Hey, let's get some rounds," they're like, "Knock his ass out. Let's knock him out." You know, that was the problem um, to me.
Top rank fights are just, to me, they're so organized. Like when you go there and your media, their shit's just, to me it's so organized. I love going to their fights because they're one of my favorites.
Who is that? I'm sorry.
Top rank.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Top. They're together. Yeah, me too.
Hmm.
From the front to the back. Love going the top rank shows for sure.
And I can't believe, what is it, Marv Nation signed the Vargas kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of happening.
Even.
Today's only the 18th day of the year, and I mean they're already rolling out the fights and
Yeah.
all this good news and
No,
boxing. So
I'm excited about it. Like I am. Like you hear some people, and I don't know. I don't. It's so corny. It's like why people are like, "Oh, boxing is dead." Boxing has taken a dive, and this and I'm like, really, bro? Seriously? Like we've got some exciting matchups. Are they all the matchups we want to see? No, but every weekend we can watch boxing. You know, and there's a lot of up and comings that's coming. Yes, Top Rank and Berlanga did split ways. They say it was mutual. I feel like Top Rank said you got to go, and he's
yeah,
like,
but
okay.
he the way he was posting it, it looks like he was asking for it, but Top Rank didn't put up the fight. They were probably like, we were looking for an excuse to let you go. So
You
I
know
really hurt you.
it's all about saving face. It's all about saving face. You know, it's
I'm curious of who he's going to fight next and where he's
well,
gonna fight.
who's going to pick him up, and is he going to get a long-term contract or 3-fight contract, and who will he fight next? Because a good promoter is not going to continue throwing money at you, and you're not bringing him any money. It's like it's business. It's like it's not personal. It's all business. So I know it was them saying, "Look, we're gonna let you out of your contract, and so let's make it nice and civil as possible." And that's what they did. And I'm sure they said, "Hey, you can put whatever you want on your social media." you know
Coda Kid says he heard that he wanted more money, and he probably did. And I don't think that he
it
was
for what?
fighting
Like more
fighting
money?
to be going in there stomping your feet saying you want more money. So
What do you have to give for them to give you more money? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, you can think he's nice, which I think he's a nice guy. And is he talented? Sure, okay. But what warrants the more money? Nothing. What has he done? No, absolutely not.
yeah,
He doesn't have any belts, nothing, right?
nothing.
Nothing.
I don't understand why
Give
fighters
me
with
more
no
money.
belts
It's like, come
Right.
on.
want more money or want.
Yeah, that so this I did hear this rumor right here too. Boxing, pound for pound, Jack. So there's a rumor Fury versus Usyk and Haney versus Lomo could be in May in Saudi Arabia, undisputed doubleheader. Look, I'm with it. I don't care where they fight. Those two matchups, those are some of my dream matchups. Really, like I'm with it. I hope it's not just a rumor.
Well, and if it's in Saudi Arabia, it's because they probably wanted big money for this fight, and that's where they would be able to make
That's
that
right.
money in Saudi Arabia.
Didn't Saudi Arabia also just buy the WWE?
Yeah, so
So
they're
there's
I
a
heard
lot
making
about
going
that.
they're
What is
on.
that
they're
about?
definitely making moves. Saudi's taking is make they have that money, so they can make
Hmm.
those moves.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
No,
they're
they
trying to
do.
get bigger tourism and the bigger like all the fights and things like that going on. Like they're trying to make it happen with them out there, obviously to bring more tourism. And I think that's why they bought the WWE. But I don't know if it's only going to be shown out there or it's going to be out there.
Well, they know too. Like the fans are gonna travel.
That's a
The
US thing,
big
so they
time
don't care.
fans, like you said. I mean, and I'm sorry. Like I remember Crawford got a lot of criticism for saying that the UK fans are the best, but
But
honey, come on now. Look at the stadiums. Look at the pay per view buys. Look at whenever somebody fights in the UK, and I'm comparing it, even though it's not Saudi Arabia, but I'm just saying I'm sure that Saudi Arabia is thinking we're going to get the same fans over here because those fans will travel. And how many times we've been to a local fight in the United States, and somebody from the UK is fighting, and they have a whole entourage.
they
You
bring
know,
everybody. Yeah, they
they
bring
do.
loyal. They're very loyal fans.
See,
Yeah,
Lisa says there's nobody at the zone for Berlinga. So
yeah,
like
that's true. There isn't. There really, yeah, there really isn't.
Mike says UK kids are annoying.
Well, that's
Uh,
not very nice. But
offer
they do. They have some very loyal fans. I mean,
no,
they
they do.
freaking pack the house. They pack the house.
I mean, look at Katie Taylor, Ebony Bridges. I mean, they've got some devoted fans that go to extreme lengths just to watch them fight.
And some of them are very delusional, might I
Yeah, that's true.
But
Robbie said that he just he heard it was just still a rumor for the WWE. It hasn't been confirmed yet.
yeah.
Thank you for
Oh,
that.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
but
I'm with you. Boxing pound for pound, Jack. I don't understand why Americans think a 10-hour flight to London is bad. Yeah, we go to the USA. I'm with you. That's how I fly all the time with my job. In 10 hours, that's nothing. They give you
I'm
food.
not. I'm going to not co-sign it because I do not like to fly. I have crazy anxiety, so 10 hours on a flight would drive me. I don't. I would have
Girl,
to be
you
drugged
get
up or
food and
something.
drinks. You
I,
have whatever alcohol you want to drink.
I need to
You
be
sleep
like
for
knocked out. I need to be
wake
knocked
up
out, knocked
too.
Watch
out. 10
movies,
hours on a flight.
watch movies, all that good stuff. Um, so tonight, we were having Mia St. John on, and God willing, everything's okay, and she's still gonna come on. But I just wanted to talk about her for a minute. I remember her being. I was trying to remember if anybody can remember. I'd seen her on TV a few times. I don't know if it was HBO. If anybody can remember, I need to do my research more. But she was a household name. I first walked into a gym in like 2000, and shortly after 2003, 2004, she was big on the scene, and I was enamored by her because she was a female and 5-time world champion. Shows I've always looked up to her and really admired everything that she's done.
In
Um,
and out of the ring.
in and out of the ring, yeah, I know she's an inductee uh, for the Nevada Hall of Fame too, and that's just the boxing part of it. But then her being a mother and everything that she's dealt with in her life, I know she's written a book. Actually, it's at my house. I ordered it and it went to my house, and I'm in Colorado fighting for my life. I can't wait to dig into that book.
Yeah, she's a big advocate for mental health and stuff.
She is, and sobriety. I know she said she had said, I wish, hopefully she comes on soon and we can talk to her about all these wonderful things that she's doing, all these tragedies that she's turned into to positive to help others. Her being sober for quite a few years now, and I believe she has a foundation too. I wanted her to talk about her foundation, um, and hopefully, like I said, we get her on. But if not, we'll have if something is causing her from coming on, we'll have her on another time. We'll invite her on. But I definitely can't wait to read her book. And everybody that is going through anything like that, I think they should get the book, purchase the book, Fighting for My Life, because it looks like it's going to be a really good one.
Let's see.
And and
Ruiz
so
says,
many of Louis said, well, I'm sorry, because PVC 168, he's not ready.
is it because he said Berlanga can go fight all those leftovers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, Crystal, her
so
book.
bad.
Her book is Fighting for My Life. I really can't wait to read it. Just I believe it talks about just everything that she's been through with losing her husband, her son, um, and
Just a lot.
for the different things that she's gone through.
Her sobriety.
Yes, yeah,
Hmm.
depression, addiction, mental
That's
illness.
that's a lot just for one person to deal with just one of those things. But
It
Man,
is.
losing your son
she
and
is
your
always smiling.
husband,
She's always smiling, and she has such a beautiful.
Always smiling. Yes. Yes. It's on Amazon, Crystal. That's where I ordered it. Well, the thing is like, we hold these super beings, these athletes that we admire, these movie stars, these performers, singers, whatever, um on these pedestals, and then we find out, something tragic happens to them or in their lives, and it's almost like, really, all we see is the glitz and the glam and the success, and we don't realize that they're humans, that the things that we go through, they go through too. um but not everybody has the courage to speak about it, because I think that as a whole, society shuns people that talk about depression or addiction or suicide or sexual abuse, all those things, and we definitely gotta change that.
We have to normalize speaking about it when it's going on, and just being vocal, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as
well, you
victims.
remember when Ryan Garcia came out and said that they bashed something ridiculous, So, and I hate to see that. I was like one of those people, like, y'all don't know what this man is going through. They they thought that mental health should look a certain way. So when they saw him on the beach race car,
Right.
it's like, okay, so you want to see him in a padded cell with,
Yeah.
but
Nobody
what
likes
do
to be
you want to see? Like,
stereotyped.
you cannot tell someone what mental health is like, So
Exactly.
uh,
Nobody likes to be stereotyped. We're stereotyping what mental sickness issues should look like. And yes, Robbie, I love seeing her do the mitts with Chris Cyberg too. I wanted to ask her about that. Um, okay, so Saber Espoded is her foundation. Thank you, Nancy, for that. She's an amazing human being. Through her heartache, she's found the strength to help others. Not everyone can do that. That's very true. Um, yes, it's
Sabel
21:55.
is poder. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
saber es poder. Saber is poder. Yes, thank you. Saber, to
Oh, it's
know.
power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Sorry. Yeah, girl, y'all know me. I'm with my Tex Mex.
That's how I was like, wait.
You're like,
She
girl,
read it.
bye.
She read it.
Stop.
She read it in Spanglish. She read the
Saber.
same. She was like,
Like, girl, y'all just need to tell me to be quiet. That's it.
No.
no,
Pull
no.
my card. Pull my card. No, but yes, it's only 21:55. Like, I ordered my mom one and myself one. It's like, let's let's support and
So
let's get educated.
I only read books. I only read books that are hardcovers. I can't stand a fucking soft cover.
Oh, well, you'll love it. It is a
I ordered
hardcover.
mine through.
It's a hardcover.
Yeah, I ordered a hardcover through Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, it's a hardcover
Oh, okay.
on Amazon.
Hmm.
Yeah. I bash him for not gonna, like, okay, Coda Kid, we're not gonna bash you the same way. But let's just be a little easier on these guys and girls, because you know what? You just never know. You know? You just never know what they're going through behind their resting bitch face or their smile or their whatever. You just never know, you know.
Well, at least you admitted that you did go on a song. You
I know, right?
can,
So kudos to that. I mean, we'll give you credit, not
I know
kudos. We'll
my
give you
my internet.
credit.
You know
I
what?
gotta
Get
restart
that.
my internet because it's acting up. What the
I get
fuck,
why
man?
he did because honestly, some people use it. Some people aren't going through it and use it as a scapegoat either. So some people do it for the wrong reasons, and it's really hard to know when. So you just have to kind of take everybody that's saying it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just have to
because you
take their
don't
word on
know.
hard.
Because what does it look like? You know, what does it look? We don't really know because we all suffer. I suffer from it. I suffer from depression and anxiety and things like that that have
Everybody does.
happened in my life. But you know, what does it look like? I mean, thank God, you know, I'm able to continue to thrive and you have your good and bad days, but what does it look like? You know, it's it doesn't have a face. And so yeah, we hold these guys up and girls up, but we need to realize that they're human. And if they're coming out, because always whenever you have something going on, you're embarrassed because you feel like you're guilty of something and people criticize you, so you don't want to come out. And them coming out helps others. I mean, her coming out and the things that she's been through, and I know her book too is helping me. It really is.
I love that she came out because that's one of those things that I feel like the women, because we have to show, that we're just as strong as the boys, or we have to show that, we can't show weakness as much because we're the women. So I
Right.
feel by her doing this, it's gonna have that ripple effect. It's gonna show others. And there's so many girls now that I know in the pros that just got pregnant or have been pregnant, and their weight issues and the things that they're
Oh
like,
yeah.
what am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna go back, and no one wants to, like, be a fan of a mom with a kid or two kids, and or they
Right.
think they're not gonna do as good. So I think there's a lot more women who are gonna come out later on that are gonna be going through things because of boxing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Whenever I'm 100, my book is going to be released, and y'all gonna be shocked. I'm telling you. Luis, yes, denial is the first step. As you can see, I'm working on it. Denial. Right. Deny. No, don't deny. Don't deny. Don't deny. But you know what? So yeah, so she obviously had something going on, and it's okay, you know, things happen. But I definitely want to reach out to her after this and make sure she's okay, and invite her back. But uh Coda Kid said victim shaming is a huge problem on these apps. It really is. I think that you know, that's that cyberbullying, you know, how many people have taken their life because of cyberbullying and the things that happen on the internet. You know, it's tragic. We need to be a little bit more caring and forgiving. We need to show some compassion.
I know.
We really do. Mental health awareness is important. Yes, Robbie, it really is. And Louis Reyes, you're so funny. I meant not to deny. LOL. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. I was like, okay, don't deny. Don't deny. Robbie says one of my childhood heroes, the late great Jason David Frank from Power Rangers, took his own life. Yes, not very long ago, back in November. And you would never suspect that he was depressed due to how humble and gracious he was. Yes.
Well, it's just like the dancer Twitch from the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Eventual, yeah. So
Yeah, that was a
So
whole.
sad.
That guy was always smiling. He had recently just posted so many dancing pictures with his wife. He just had a baby or a baby on the way. I forgot which one it was. And then out of nowhere, he gets a motel, takes himself there, and shot.
Anthony Bourdain, Robin Williams, you know, there are many. Lisa Bell says, are you ladies going to do a video in the future about the women's convention? The women's convention, talk to me about it. Let's, you know, we're open. We're open. When is it? What is it? Are you talking about the Hall of Fame convention? Are you talking about which convention? Talk to me, because I'm making notes right now, and we'll do it.
that would be a nice place to meet up at a women's
it
convention, right?
it'd be a great place to meet up, and then we'll go and y'all go meet us and join us. um What time zone is she in? Maybe she got confused. Yeah, you know what? She is so
West
she's
Coast.
with West Coast. I said 8 Central. You know what? Let me check something real quick and see if she's messaged me, because that could happen, because I get so confused on time zones. Oh, she said the link isn't working. Okay, okay.
So sorry, sir.
Hurry up, Christine. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
gonna I'm gonna I'll resend. Okay, I'm gonna do that right now. Sheesh, so it's me.
Oh, my internet was acting up. For you know what? I need to call my internet company because I'm paying extra for the good shit.
Well, yeah, you better call them.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, if we have any questions in the chat or any comments, let me see. Let me do this. Okay, let me send her this.
Trying to think of what else is going. So is anything set in stone yet for Spence and Thurman? Is that a go or what?
I saw a T-shirt they're gonna start selling,
Ugh.
so I don't know, but we know how that goes. You can make a T-shirt, but that doesn't mean it's a go.
Fuck. What was it? Ooh.
That's probably me.
That's my phone. So
Oh, hey, what was
okay,
that whole thing happening with, or maybe the chat knows, the whole thing with people saying that I guess Cruz lied and he wasn't injured or he wasn't going through some stuff, that he was just ducking fights. Pitbull Cruz.
I saw something on it when I was skimming through Instagram earlier. And I was busy, so I didn't really get to see what it was. So so wait, they said he was faking injury because he was trying to duck a fight with who?
Okay, she says she's on. Is she
Oh
backstage?
yeah, let me add her. All right.
Okay, yay.
All right.
Hello. We are so sorry, Mia. Oh my
I
gosh.
hardest time. I'm so sorry.
I'm the same way. It's like I need them to give me a step by step. I'm Christine, by the way, and
Hi.
we've got Nika and Esme
Hi.
on.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
Doing.
Well, we started. I said, you know what? Maybe something happened, but we started talking about you, praising you, how you have been somebody that I've admired since you started boxing. So we're just gonna recap and go back, and then you just come on and join the conversation. But like I said, you were somebody that I really admired. I first walked into a gym in 2001, and I think you started a
Oh,
few years after that, boxing a
I,
few years after that, made
I
some
started in
TV.
97.
Oh, nice.
97. Oh my gosh, even earlier than I thought. And
Yeah.
what made you go into the gym, to a
Well,
boxing gym?
okay, so I was actually in Taekwondo since I was 6, and I was training with the hope of going to the Sydney Olympics in Taekwondo. And I was already getting to that age. I think I was already like 28, and the girls were so young. And I thought, like, I'm just going to switch to boxing. And I couldn't find a trainer that would take me, woman. I finally did. And I sent a photo and a letter to Don King. And I said, I want to turn pro in boxing. And,
Don King was like,
I mean, later I left him for Bob Arum, but yeah, that was my first promoter.
That is amazing. And for you to be so ambitious and be like, look, this is me, this is what I want to do, Don. Like, put me on. That
I
was so smart.
I dictated my entire career. Like when I left and went to Bob Arum, I said, he's, I'll sign you. And I said, but one thing, I want to open for Oscar De La Hoya. And he was like, "Oh, you do you?"
Good for you.
I said, "I sure do." And you know, so my whole career, like, I was able to dictate like what happened, and you know, everything I want.
What a blessing. I remember seeing you on TV. I mean, you were literally in my home. You were a household name. You know,
Yeah, my
I
house.
admired you, looked up to you. 5-time world champ. You did amazing things. I mean, you were truly, one of the pioneers. For in boxing for women, you really were. And I believe you're also, you were inducted in the Nevada Hall of Fame. When
Last
was that? Was it? Wow.
A
Gosh.
few months ago, wasn't it? So,
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't that
Was
long ago. Yeah.
it
yeah.
wasn't that? How was that?
It, that was really exciting. Um, it was a lot of fun, and to be inducted with Floyd Mayweather was great because I love him. But I had a fun story to remind him of, and I said, "Remember the day you opened for me?" Because there was time before Floyd Mayweather was Floyd Mayweather,
Right.
and I was the headliner, and he was the opening fight.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure he loved you reminding him of
Reminded him
that.
Oh,
that.
we had a good laugh. A
That's amazing. That's very humbling, for him. I think that's great. That's fabulous. Um, I was telling the ladies, I ordered your book. I'm in Colorado. I work in Colorado, so I'm here right now. So your book is in Dallas, but I also ordered one for my mom because she knew, she's like, yes, I remember Mia St. John. We watched her on TV, and I ordered her that book too. And we were just talking about how we have these images of our heroes and these bigger than life people that we admire, and we don't realize that you all go through things that like we go through. And for you, I haven't read the book yet, but just some of the things that you've touched on, with videos that I've seen, and speaking on the subjects that you have, um, I think has really helped myself and others. Um, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to touch on your book, Fighting for My Life, and what inspired you, what many things inspired you to put it into a book.
Well, you know, a lot of it was, you know, about my life and growing up, but I also wanted to write about mental illness and drug addiction, and have people um that are in that, or that are either mentally ill or have a family member that's ill or suffering from drug addiction, that they are not alone, and that it happens to people in all walks of life. You know, here I was, a champion boxer, and Christoph St. John, my the father of my children, was a two-time Emmy Award winner,
Yeah.
and still, like, our
Yeah.
family was suffering. You know, we had a son that had schizophrenia. He was addicted to meth. Would run away from home many times, become homeless, and we'd go searching for him. And uh, you know, he wound up in jails, institutions. It was just, it was very difficult. And you know, because our son, he was our firstborn son, our only son, the light of our lives.
Yes.
And so when he passed away, it was so devastating. Um, but I wanted so badly to fight for reform, you know, for our mental health facilities, our rehabs, and do something about it, you know, and not let this happen to other children.
Yes. I admire so much that you took these tragedies, these quote unquote negative things in your life, and made them, turn them into something that could be as possible positive as possible, because I know so many people that have been through similar things, and in my own family and friends, and they just stay in the dark, and don't have the strength, I guess, to even discuss and with other people what in you made you want to do the things that you're doing after these tragedies in your life.
To fight for my son, to fight for all the others that were just like him, and to make change, so that, because my son's life meant something. His death meant something. And we were able to make change, but it doesn't stop there. Like, I continue to fight for reform, and it'll never end. I will, keep
Yes.
on the mission for the rest of my life.
Can you tell us a little bit about your foundation, or a lot about your foundation, and the work it does to support children and families that are affected by mental illness?
Yeah, well, it's called the Mia St. John Foundation, but it uh its original name was El Saber es Poder, which means knowledge is power. And we actually started in Mexico, um, funding computers, electricity to rural parts of Mexico. Um, and then after my son was diagnosed with schizophrenia, I changed it to the United States and to help those who were mentally ill and suffering from addiction. And we have programs in the San Bernardino, in the LA area, and in the Palm Springs area.
That's beautiful. Did you find that whenever you first came out and wanted to start your foundation, that there were many people on board? Did you find that there were, you had, I don't know, maybe some pushback, or was everybody seemingly wanting to help?
Everybody was
Oh,
and wanted to help. I
that's
mean,
beautiful.
because there's so many families, like there's so many people that are touched by either addiction or mental health issues.
Yes.
I
That-
so many families, can say, we suffered too. And so many people, how many of them have mental health issues?
Absolutely. We were touching on that because recently there have been boxers, that have come out and talked about dealing with depression and things. And Ryan Garcia was one of them. And when he did do that, he spoke publicly about having a breakdown. I believe he was at the beach or something, and he received a lot of criticism, which to me was very heartbreaking, because we talked about mental illness and depression and addiction. It doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a look. It could be anybody.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter who you are.
No, it doesn't. And so for people out there that think that some people think depression and anxiety is not real, like it's just an excuse or whatever, what do you say to those
Yeah.
people?
Well, there are actually um disorders like generalized anxiety disorder, and which is what I suffer from. And people think like, oh, you just have anxiety, like everyone gets anxiety, and I'm like, not the kind I do. Like, I
Right.
keep walking into a grocery store. Like last week, I walked into a grocery store, grabbed a sandwich, and I'm walking la di da, going to the cash register, and all of a sudden, panic and fear
Yeah.
just sweep over me. My heart is going 100 miles an hour. I'm sweating. I'm shaking. Oh my God. Oh my God. and you don't even know what you're afraid of. Like it just happens like that for no reason.
I suffer from that too, but I don't take any medication for it or anything. Do you take medication for anxiety, or
I I,
do you find other things that help you like
I take a
go through?
lot of action. I'm
See,
on 3 different medications, um, which enable me to a normal life. Aside from my medication, I have to do things like meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Hiking helps a lot. Um, Being around nature, um, because I can't just rely on meditation
Yeah.
or medication. And what my medication does is what we found was that I'm lacking in norepinephrine. So I have medications that raise my norepinephrine. Um, and if ever there comes a day where my own brain will produce it on its own, um, great. But it's like a diabetic that needs insulin. Like, when will
Mm-hmm.
that diabetic be able to go off insulin? Well,
mhm.
when the body starts producing insulin.
Right. Right.
So my brain starts producing norepinephrine, then I'll be able to go off of it. But until then, I'll be on it
Yeah.
my life until the cure.
No, we thank you so much for sharing those things. It's important for people to hear from someone like you, and because someone that they respect and they hold up and see as a superstar, that nothing, their life has to be perfect. I think it's wonderful that you've done the things that you've done. I mean, like I said, you've definitely helped me in some ways in my own life, so I appreciate that so much. But I kind of want to switch gears for a second, and I want to say I saw that you had done mitts with Chris Cyborg. I actually went
Oh
to
yeah.
her fight when she was on the Crawford undercard, and I thought that was so cool. How did that come about?
Well, Chris and I became friends. Oh my gosh, probably like in 2015 after my son died. She came to one of our fundraisers, and she bought a painting of my son's.
Oh wow.
And from that day forward, like, we just became friends. So whenever she calls me, like, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah. She's super nice. I didn't get to talk to her that much. She was busy, obviously, but she seemed like such a great spirit.
She is. She really.
Yes. So did she call you up and say, "Mia, I need some mitts. Come up to the gym. Let's do this."
Oh, yeah, we do it for fun and just
Yeah.
for, yeah, and you know, just, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
We-
love it though?
A lot
Would
of,
it be something you'd consider? Because I mean, when you were doing it, just like it said it all. Like you love the sport, you love what you were doing, and would it be something like just like you'd be like, oh, okay, like I'll do mitts, I'll semi coach.
would I ever coach? No,
No.
uh, no, no, no. I mean, I have boxing programs like that I use for the mentally ill and the drug addicted, just because it helps with hand-eye coordination.
Yes.
No, I would never want to. Uh, no, no.
Like,
No,
no, no,
just
I don't
like no,
blame
no,
you.
no.
I don't blame you.
Well,
I
you
don't blame
obviously
you.
you obviously thought about it. It was because you had a clear answer.
Oh, she's sure, yeah. Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
No. Robbie had a question. He said, "I'd like to ask Mia what she enjoyed the most about hosting her own podcast."
Getting to talk about my own topics, things that I wanted to talk about, which was, mental health or drug addiction.
That's
I
huge.
didn't want to talk boxing.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And but the blessing is that boxing has given you this huge platform, to talk about the things that are important to you and that are helping others. And I think it's amazing the way life goes. And I'm really glad that you're able to do that, and people know who you are and they're going to listen to you and take your
Yeah,
advice.
well, I'm grateful for my career. It was a wonderful time. I had an amazing time, but yeah, it's like I've moved on to other things that
Absolutely. Absolutely. I get it. I wanted to ask you also, as far as I know you do public speaking, for people and speak, how do they contact you?
I usually either through my publicist or email from my website.
Okay, so from your website. And do you mind sharing your website and we'll post it for
Yeah,
people that are interested in you coming on?
yeah, Mia St. John Foundation.org.
Okay, that's fabulous. So we'll definitely post that and we'll share that after our interview. And definitely we can anyone can order her book, Fighting for My Life, on Amazon. I really suggest that everybody do that. It's I'm super excited to get home and crack it open. um, I want to thank you for coming on and talking about these things that you're doing and things that have gone on in your life. I know that, like I said, you've definitely touched me and helped me, and I know that I'm not the only one. So I appreciate you so much.
So much for having me on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
And
coming on.
what would you like to leave with everyone this evening? Some parting words. What would you like everybody to remember?
Um, I would like people to, well, I'm always going to say something about mental health. Take care of your mental health.
That's great.
If you're depressed or anxious, like, um, take care of yourself. You know, don't just ignore it, because these are serious issues, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. We all suffer.
Absolutely. That's perfect. That's beautiful. Ladies, anything y'all want to say to Mia before we call it a
Um,
night?
well, I want her to share all her social media handles. So we could put it in the chat. And no, and I have one more question. Where do you think the state of boxing is with women's boxing today?
I think that women's boxing today has evolved into a real legitimate sport for the women. Like, if you look at the days of me, Christy Martin, Layla Ali, Lucia Riker,
Yeah,
skill level is nowhere near the level of the girls today. So it's really evolved. Uh, but don't get me wrong, like, we had a hell of a time in the night.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But um, but yeah, we were so new to the sport that, but now you can see how great these women fight. They're they fight as good as the men, to tell
Or
you.
better. Sometimes better.
oh yeah,
Sometimes
Oh
better.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that for sure. That's me. What you got?
I'm trying hard not to cry. Um,
Yeah.
my dad passed away about 2 years ago, and you were one of the biggest reasons why he allowed me to fight back in like 99, 2000. And so to me, you were something that my dad and I shared because we both, we watched your fights. We went to one of your fights at the Staples Center the year I graduated. And to be speaking to you now, like, I mean, I just wish my dad was able to listen. But
Aw.
but thank you for everything you've done and you keep doing for especially the women in the sport and everybody else.
I gotta make everybody cry.
Yes, I know. Yes, thank you so much, Mia, and appreciate you for coming on. And we hope you'll come on again.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
You have a wonderful evening.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.